The Viridian ambassador's laughter echoed through the halls of the Galactic Council, a sound like crystalline wind chimes caught in a hurricane. Before him, the human delegation sat in uncomfortable silence, their primitive clothing and unadorned faces a stark contrast to the glittering assembly of advanced civilizations. "You speak of joining our collective," Ambassador Zethai said, his four eyes glinting with amusement. "Yet what could your species possibly offer? You've barely mastered faster-than-light travel. Your weapons are crude kinetic projectiles. Your lifespans are laughably brief." He gestured dismissively with one of his 6 arms. "The Viridian Empire has conquered 17 star systems through superior technology and tactical brilliance. What has humanity conquered beyond their own singular unremarkable world?" The human ambassador, Sarah Chen, remained silent, her weathered hands folded calmly in her lap as species after species voiced their agreement. The crystalline Zephyrite hummed their derision. The gaseous nebulae pulsed with mocking colors. Even the machine minds of the collective processed humanity's inadequacy with audible clicks of disapproval. "Perhaps," Zethai continued, "we might find use for your species as laborers. Your apparent physical durability suggests you might survive in hazardous environments where more advanced beings would perish. Consider yourselves fortunate that the Empire is merciful." Ambassador Chen finally spoke, her voice carrying no trace of anger or desperation. "We appreciate the Council's consideration. Humanity will take time to deliberate on this generous offer." More laughter rippled through the chamber. The Viridians had made their position clear. Submit to servitude or face the consequences alone in the void. 3 months later, the first reports arrived. A Viridian patrol fleet investigating disturbances in the Kepler 442 system simply vanished. No distress signals, no debris. 18 warships equipped with quantum shields and plasma cannons had disappeared without a trace. Zethai dismissed the incident. Space was vast and dangerous. Even advanced civilizations occasionally lost ships to cosmic anomalies or equipment failures. When a second fleet vanished while investigating the first, concern crept into Viridian strategic planning. The truth emerged during the third expedition. The human ships that intercepted them looked primitive, constructed from what appeared to be repurposed mining equipment and asteroid processing units. Their hulls bore scorch marks and crude welding seams. The Viridian fleet commander, Admiral Zenthara, nearly laughed at the sight. "Attention unidentified vessels," she transmitted. "You are trespassing in Viridian space. Withdraw immediately, or face." The transmission cut short as the human ships opened fire. But these weren't the kinetic projectiles the galaxy expected. Streams of coherent energy tore through Viridian shields like tissue paper. The humans had weaponized stellar matter itself, somehow containing and directing the fury of dying stars. Viridian ships, marvels of engineering that had dominated space battles for centuries, crumpled like paper flowers in a furnace. Admiral Zenthara watched in horror as her flagship's quantum barriers failed against weapons that shouldn't exist. In her final moments, she saw something that would haunt Viridian nightmares for generations. Human crews working outside their ships in simple atmospheric suits, manually repairing battle damage in the vacuum of space, continuing the fight while exposed to radiation that would liquefy most species. The pattern repeated across 17 star systems. Humans didn't conquer worlds through overwhelming technological superiority or vast fleets. They adapted, they endured, they learned. On volcanic worlds where the atmosphere burned Viridian lungs, humans worked in shirt sleeves. In the crushing gravity of super-Earths that would pulverize most species, human soldiers jogged between objectives. In the absolute zero of deep space, they performed maintenance tasks that advanced races required sophisticated environmental suits to attempt. But their true advantage wasn't physical resilience. It was something the galaxy's advanced civilizations had forgotten in their pursuit of perfection. Humans innovated through desperation. Each Viridian technology they captured became the foundation for something newer, deadlier, and utterly unexpected. They reverse-engineered quantum shields to create reality-warping fields. They turned plasma cannons into stellar engineering tools. They saw potential where other species saw only limitation. The Viridian Empire's greatest tactical computer, A quantum consciousness that had calculated the defeat of hundreds of species found itself unable to predict human behavior. Humans didn't follow optimal strategies. They pursued impossible gambles that somehow succeeded through sheer audacity and improvisation. When Viridian forces expected frontal assault, humans appeared behind them, having somehow tunneled through dimensions that mathematics insisted were impassable. When the Empire anticipated technological warfare, humans reverted to close combat with weapons forged from exotic matter, fighting battles inside enemy ships while both vessels hurtled through hyperspace. The final battle occurred above Viridian Prime itself. The Empire's last fleet, every remaining ship equipped with their most advanced technology, faced a human armada that looked like it had been cobbled together in a junkyard. Massive vessels with mismatched hull segments, weapons obviously salvaged from defeated enemies and command structures that defied all military logic. Ambassador Chen's voice cut through the chaos of battle communications, transmitted on every frequency simultaneously. "You asked what humanity had conquered," she said calmly, as human ships tore through Viridian defenses with impossible efficiency. "We conquered ourselves. Our fear, our limitations, our willingness to accept that something can't be done. The Viridian homeworld's shields fell first, then their orbital platforms. Finally, their moon-sized battle stations, engineering marvels that had taken centuries to construct, became expanding clouds of superheated gas under the assault of weapons that converted matter directly into aggressive energy. But the humans didn't destroy Viridian Prime. Instead, they simply waited. Zeth High, the last surviving member of the Viridian High Command, transmitted his surrender from deep underground bunkers. His voice carried none of its former arrogance. "What are your terms?" he asked. Chen's response came immediately. "Integration. Your people join the human collective. Your technology serves our expansion. Your worlds become our worlds." A pause. "The same offer you made us. We're simply more persuasive in our negotiations." Today, Viridian engineers work alongside human crews, pushing the boundaries of physics under the guidance of a species that sees impossibility as merely another problem to solve. The crystalline Zephyrite harmonize with human musicians, creating art that transcends individual consciousness. The nebulae flow through human-designed reality matrices, exploring dimensions that pure energy forms couldn't access alone. The galaxy learned that humanity's weakness, their brief lifespans, their fragile bodies, their limited initial technology, was actually their greatest strength. They had no time for gradual evolution, no luxury of incremental improvement. They either adapted quickly or died. So they became very, very good at adapting. Now human ships patrol 17 star systems, their hulls bearing the names of conquered worlds in the languages of species that once considered humanity beneath notice. But the stars themselves burn with new purpose, their fusion hearts directed by human engineering toward projects that dwarf even Viridian ambitions. In the Galactic Council chambers, where Ambassador Chen now sits at the head of the assembly, a simple plaque bears humanity's new motto, "Never underestimate the desperate." The galaxy learned that lesson well. Some species learned it willingly. Others learned it the hard way. All learned it completely,